Oh, we are live now.
Small session, I would like to call upon our anchor, Joya Sharma, who will be anchoring the session. So, a brief introduction about Joya. Joya is a research fellow. I was doing PhD, a PhD in the Department of Library Information Science, Jadavpur University, and she is presently working as librarian, General Degree College, Government, Singur, and she's very dynamic. I personally know her. She's very she has published so many papers in different journals of national and international stature. And I would request Joya to kindly take over the session and kindly proceed. Joya, now it's up to you.
Thank you, Avidya, for such a humble introduction. A very good evening to everyone. On behalf of Universal Briefing, I welcome you all to the 40th Study Circle. The esteemed speaker for today's session is Dr. Nilima Paul, Librarian of Mrinalini Mahavidyapith, who will be sharing her expertise on a very relevant topic, that is the impact of open educational resources in digital learning environments. To preside over this session, we are glad to have with us Dr. Pronobi Porel. Let me give a brief introduction of Dr. Porel. She is presently working as librarian at Rabindra Mahavidyalaya, Hooghly. Prior to this, she has been employed as a school librarian at Hirapur MCT Girls High School at Asansol in Bardhaman and as an assistant librarian at J.D. Birla Institute in Kolkata. Additionally, she has experience of working as a project assistant at the Indian Statistical Institute. Dr. Porel is an M.Com from University of Calcutta, and she has obtained her bachelor, master's, and doctorate degree in library and information science from Jadavpur University. Her areas of research interest are data and archive, classification and cataloging, management, information retrieval, and web page design. Dr. Porel has published many research papers in journals of national and international repute, and she has participated in a number of national and international seminars, conferences, and workshops. Now I kindly request ma'am to carry forward the session.
Thank you, Joya, for introducing me nicely. Good evening to all of you. My respected professor, Dr. Udayan Bhattacharya sir, as a mentor and president of Universal Briefing, respected chairperson of Study Circle Subcommittee, Dr. Atanu Das, and convener, Dr. Ovik Roy. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you as a president of Study Circle 40. Today's lecture will be given by Dr. Nilima Pal. Topic is use of open educational resources in digital learning environment. Let's introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Nilima Pal. Dr. Pal is currently working.
A brief modification. It is not use of, it is the impact of. The title has been changed later. The revised plan.
Sorry.
It is the impact of OER in digital learning environment. Carry on.
Okay. Dr. Nilima Pal is currently working as a librarian in Mrinalini Mahavidyapith, West Birhati, North Chobbish Parganas, West Bengal. Previously, she served as lecturer in library science at the People's Government College, Manipur. She obtained BL's degree in physiology from the University of Calcutta, both ML's degree from Jadavpur University. She also completed her PhD from Jadavpur University. She has a brilliant academic record throughout her career, and she has published several papers in various reputed journals. She also presented papers in many national and international seminars and conferences. She has almost 18 years of service experience in this field. Her key area of interest in modern library management. She is also a member of various library associations. She is actively involved in various social and cultural activities. Uh, Please hand it over Dr. Nilima Pal. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Carry on the session.
Good evening. Thank you, Pronobi, for your nice introduction. Good evening, sir, and everyone present over here. Thank you all for your presence here. So now let me start my topic. Today my topic is impact of open educational resources in a digital learning environment. So first let me share my screen. Okay. So first of all, let me introduce the topic in brief. With the ever-increasing cost of scholarly and educational publications, open educational resources.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Hello, yes?
Sorry to interrupt you. Orientation কি চেঞ্জ করতে পারবে?
কিভাবে?
তুমি কি মোবাইল থেকে প্রেজেন্ট করছো?
হ্যাঁ, মোবাইল থেকে প্রেজেন্ট করছি। আমার বাড়ির মেশিনটা বেশ মানে প্রবলেম হচ্ছে।
মোবাইলটা তোমার মধ্যে কি আছে, হরাইজন্টাল মোডে আছে বুঝছেন না, ভার্টিক্যাল মোডে নিয়ে চলে যাও, মানে ল্যান্ডস্কেপ মোডে নিয়ে চলে যাও।
আচ্ছা, ওটা কিভাবে করবো একটু যদি বলো ভালো হয়।
কিছুই না, মোবাইলটাকে জাস্ট ওরিয়েন্টেশন চেঞ্জ করিয়ে দাও, মানে মোবাইলটাকে যেভাবে রেখেছো ওটা চেঞ্জ করিয়ে দাও, ল্যান্ডস্কেপ ভাবে রাখো। তাহলে হ্যাঁ,
ঠিক আছে।
ইন্ট্রোডাকশন এই পোরশনটা কিন্তু পড়া যাচ্ছে না, এটা কি জুম করা যাবে? হ্যাঁ, মানে ওরিয়েন্টেশনটা চেঞ্জ হয়েছে কিন্তু একটু জুম করা যাবে কি এটা? এটা কি পিডিএফ ফরম্যাটে আছে? আরেকটু আরেকটু জুম করা যাবে?
ঠিক আছে, এবার
আরেকটু জুম করা যাবে?
হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলছি আরেকটু জুম কি করা যাবে?
হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ শোনা যাচ্ছে? হ্যালো
হ্যালো,
লেখাগুলো খুব একটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে না, একটু জুম করা যাবে? এবার ঠিক আছে, নাও ইটস ওকে, প্লিজ ক্যারি অন।
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, let me introduce the topic first. With the ever-increasing cost of scholarly and educational publications, open educational resources are becoming an important method of providing access to quality information and of enhancing the teaching and learning experience for both faculty and students. The challenges in discovering, evaluating, adapting, and disseminating open educational resources have provided a new and exciting role for academic librarians, who are well positioned to participate in the development, description, management, and distribution of open educational resources, as well as in advocating for and supporting their use. One way to provide service sustainably is to share time and resources through collaborative efforts such as community of practice. Collectively, they can increase their knowledge, interest, and expertise in open education not only with each other but also with others interested in supporting open education in a sustainable way by sharing ideas, tools, and strategies for promoting and supporting open educational resources. There are a number of libraries and library consortiums that have taken the forefront in producing resources for all. Librarians, whose ranks are filled with specialists and experts in a variety of fields, can be contributors to the open educational commons by creating OERs themselves and become successful OER advocates. So now the objectives of the study. This study helps to define open educational resources and digital learning, to depict the role of library and information science professionals with open educational resources and for promoting digital learning, to describe how open educational resources help to digital learning, to illustrate the open educational resources movement in India, and also to describe the role of future library as well as the LIS professionals in the context of OERs to find out the barrier of information and problem solving role of library professionals. So now what we can mean by the term open educational resources, by the concept open educational resources. The term open educational resources first came into use at a conference hosted by UNESCO in 2002 that defined as the open provision of educational resources enabled by information and communication technologies for consultation, use, and adaptation by a community of users for non-commercial purposes. The definition of OER now most often used is open educational resources are digitized materials offered freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning, and research. Thus, open educational resources is the resources available on the web for teaching, learning, or research purpose. It is in textbooks, course materials, and other learning form. These are digitized materials offered freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning, and research. Open educational resources have the potential to not only help address the cost of textbooks, but also transform teaching and learning as open educational resources enable faculty to create a curriculum all their own. These resources span a wide range encompassing textbooks, multimedia content, lesson plans, interactive simulations, and so on, so on. Open educational resources is a testament to the power of collaboration and knowledge democratization, empowering learners and educators alike. Now, here is the list of some open educational resources, the requirements required for open educational resources. The way OER must meet some requirements in order to be considered for the purpose of using in digital learning. Firstly, the resource must have an intellectual property license to enable their free use or adaptation so that teachers can use them according to their pedagogical and instructional requirements. The resource must be downloadable to be included as a resource in the digital learning environment through the library management software or can be referenced as external resource stored in the public domain, for example, a video hosted in the YouTube. The resources must have current content and the language of the resources can be preferably English so that it can be accepted globally. Now, here are some examples of open educational resources. some of these are mentioned here. First one, interactive simulation allows students to conduct complex experiments in a risk-free environment. OER in the form of interactive simulations offers this opportunity. Platforms like PHET interactive simulations provide a treasure trove of physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics simulations that make learning engaging and experimental. Textbooks and course materials. Traditional textbooks can be expensive and often outdated. Open Educational Resources provides a solution with freely accessible textbooks and course materials. Websites like OpenStax host a collection of peer-reviewed textbooks covering various subjects, making quality education more accessible to everyone. And third one is multimedia learning modules. Engaging learners through multimedia has become a cornerstone of effective education. OER platforms offer video lectures, animations, and audio content that caters to diverse learning styles. The Commerce Wala one, for instance, offers a wide array of video lessons on subjects ranging from mathematics to art history. Now, we come to the concept of digital learning. Actually, what we can mean by digital learning, it encompasses any educational activity that utilizes technology to enhance teaching and learning, including online courses, virtual classrooms, and interactive learning environments. Digital learning is the use of technology to facilitate education encompassing a wide range of practices and resources. Digital learning is more than just providing students with a laptop. Digital learning requires a combination of technology, digital content, and instruction. It aims to improve the learning experience by making education more accessible, flexible, and personalized. Now, here mentioned some modes of digital learning, like online courses and programs, virtual classrooms and simulations, interactive learning tools and games, digital textbooks and learning materials, online research and collaboration tools, mobile learning apps and platforms, and so on. Now, what are the benefits of digital learning? Some of the benefits are mentioned here, like first one, accessibility. Digital learning can make education accessible to more people regardless of location or time constraints. Next one, flexibility. It allows learners to learn at their own pace and on their own schedule. Personalization, that is, digital learning tools can be tailored to individual learning styles and needs. Another one, engagement, that is, interactive and immersive learning experiences can keep students engaged and motivated. And another one, cost effectiveness, that is, digital learning can be a more cost effective way to deliver education compared to traditional methods. And last mention here, last but not the least, that is enhanced learning outcomes. That is, digital learning can lead to better learning outcomes and knowledge retention. Now here, the interrelation between digital learning and open educational resources. Nowadays, digital learning has become an integral part of education in digital environment. OER seamlessly integrates with digital learning, amplifying its benefits. Learners can access OER across the globe, breaking down geographical barriers. Educators can customize content to suit their teaching methods, fostering a more dynamic and personalized learning experience. Transition words such as furthermore, moreover, and in addition serve as bridges between ideas, enhancing the flow of content. In brief, open educational resources are reshaping the educational landscape by making quality learning materials accessible to all. Through interactive simulations, multimedia content, and various resource types, OER caters to diverse learning preferences. Its integration with digital learning has revolutionized education, transcending boundaries and fostering innovations. Embrace the power of OER to unlock a world of knowledge and possibilities in the realm of digital learning. Now, here mentioned open educational resources opportunities for LIS professionals. Library professionals whose ranks are filled with specialists and experts in a variety of fields can be contributors to the open educational commons by creating OERs themselves. They need not write an entire textbook to contribute in this way. They routinely teach information literacy sessions and may have developed materials for such teaching. As OERs, these materials have the potential to be invaluable to professors and students far beyond a creator's own institution. They may well provide the side benefit of helping us make progress on the road to true course integrated instruction. Librarians who teach can make quality OERs a part of their instruction. Many librarians teach as part of information literacy instruction programs. Some teach full courses or others do both. Some librarians teach on their own. Others are part of a teaching team, either with other librarians or with professional faculty. Regardless of circumstances, teaching librarians can adopt or suggest the adoption of an OER textbook for their courses. If no suitable text exists because of either subject treatment or excessive price, they can write or mix their own textbook. Or if the decision is made to use the commercially published textbooks, teaching librarians can suggest the use of relevant open educational resources modules or lessons where these would be appropriate. OERs join the other opens like open access, open source, open data, and open science in creating a more robust and useful open commons. They hold the promise of making education at all levels, but especially higher education, more affordable. OERs are more in tune with the movement of greater accountability, that is, providing a better return on investment, which is definitely a trend in higher education. Library professionals can help by contributing their own open educational resources to the commons, screening for, indexing, and archiving quality open educational resources, using OERs in their own teaching, and participating in discussions leading toward responsible intellectual property policies and useful standards. Now, open educational initiatives made in India. India is becoming an active player not only in the open source software movement but also in the open access movement, as evidenced by the increasing availability of open access electronic journals, open access repositories, and open source software based repositories. Indian open educational resources can be broadly categorized as audiovisual open educational resources and textual open educational resources. Few of the Indian educational open educational resources initiatives made by India are mentioned here. First one, initiatives under audiovisual open educational resources. Sorry. First one mentioned here, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, in abbreviation NPTEL. This is a collaborative initiative of the Indian Institutes of Technology and the Indian Institute of Science with financial support from Ministry of Human Resources Development of Government of India. It provides access to recorded video lectures of different engineering disciplines. NPTEL also provides access to some web-based courses containing structured text and graphics. Next one, Learning Object Repository of the Consortium for Educational Communication, that is CEC. CEC and its partner institutions produce video or Gyan Darshan educational channels and EduSat. Some of these contents are archived at the Learning Object Repository. Most of the videos are of short duration. Another one, Project Open Source Courseware Animations Repository, that is OSCAR. This is an initiative of the IIT Bombay in collaboration with the National Mission for Education through Information and Communication Technology, NME ICT. It aims at creating a repository of web-based interactive animations for teaching various concepts and technologies. Another one, e-Gyankosh of Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU. This is an initiative to provide open access to outstanding video lectures recorded at the IGNOU studio for Gyan Darshan educational channels. This YouTube channel maintains an IGNOU broadcast archive where many interesting video lectures are preserved in streamed video format. Every school of IGNOU has a presence in this online archive. Indian audiovisual open educational resources seek to collaborate with international online streaming video portals such as YouTube and MetaCafe. These free content hosting platforms give the Indian OER initiatives freedom from maintaining their web servers with heavy load of video content. Thus, quality contents are seamlessly available to the worldwide audience as well as national target groups. Now, here mention some projects made by run by Indian government under textual open educational resources. First one, online textbooks of the National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCERT. Its website is www.ncert.nic.in. NCERT publishes school textbooks and reference books based on the National Curriculum Framework 2005 of the MHRD. NCERT textbooks are now accessible online through its OER gateway. Next one, eGyan Kosh of IGNOU. This is an initiative of IGNOU to provide open access to self-learning study materials developed for different academic programs. These self-learning study materials contain structured text with graphical contents. These materials are also highly used by lifelong learner communities for various purposes such as preparation of competitive examinations, preparation of examinations, etc. eGyan Kosh is accessible to registered users only. However, registration is free of charge. Next, National Science Digital Library (NSDL) of the National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources. NSDL contains popular science books and college-level reference textbooks produced under the mandate of attracting young minds in science and mathematics education. It covers basic science subjects which are taught in degree-level courses. These books are used by students, science teachers, teachers training institutes, and activists of People's Science Movement. Next one, Vidyanidhi, Digital Library and e-scholarship portal for thesis and dissertations. Vidyanidhi is a national digital library initiative of the University of Mysore, supported by the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ford Foundation, and Microsoft India. Vidyanidhi aims at enhancing visibility of Indian doctoral research through archiving and disseminating full-text doctoral dissertations of researchers submitted in Indian universities to a global audience. This is a national level initiative covering major Indian universities. Next one, NDL, National Digital Library. This is an initiative of IIT Kharagpur to make available to the learners community learning resources through a single window. National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology (NMEICT) has sponsored the National Digital Library of India (NDLI) project and arranged funding through Ministry of Education. Next one, EPG Pathshala. This is an initiative of the MHRD under its National Mission on Education through NMEICT being executed by the UGC. Next one, Shodh Ganga of InflibNet. It provides a platform for research students to deposit their PhD thesis and make it available to entire scholarly communication community in open access. The repository has the ability to capture, index, store, disseminate, and preserve ETDs submitted by the researchers. Apart from audiovisual and textual open educational resources, initiatives made by India, there are also some national knowledge portals. The National Knowledge Commission has recommended establishing national knowledge portals in key areas of social interest such as water, energy, environment, education, skills, etc. These portals create validated contents with the help of subject matter experts. These open contents are supplemented by open educational contents for awareness raising and knowledge dissemination to the audience of practitioners, experts, researchers, students, as well as others. Now, also, we have to face some challenges to the growing open educational resources movement. Although the idea of OER is thriving at the moment, it is important also to look at some challenges that might stifle the further growth of the open education movement. Here mentioned the three main challenges, which are: first one, lack of awareness of copyright issues. While publication, consumption and distribution of text through physical media, academics remain mostly unaware of the licensing that leads to underpin the exploitation of copyright. Several open content licenses have been developed, like the Creative Commons and the GNU Free Documentation License, to accommodate this problem. Next one, quality assurance. OER shows that a growing number of initiatives and digital resources are available. Teachers, students, and self-learners looking for resources should not have difficulties finding resources, but still might have problems of judging their quality and relevance. Some institution-based providers use the brand or reputation of the institution to persuade the user that the materials on the website are of good quality. The peer review process is one of the most used quality assurance process. Third one is sustainability of OER initiatives. So many OER initiatives started during the last few years have created competition for funding. Although some projects have a strong institutional backing, it is most probably startup funding that will cease after a few years. Therefore, it is important to seriously consider how the initiatives can be sustained in the long run. Institutions launching OER programs might also need to look into different revenue models for the long-term stability and viability of their initiative. Now, what may be the role to be played by the academic libraries and librarians to maintain open educational resources? Academic libraries are committed to improve dissemination to scholarly and educational content for their users, and with that aim in mind, they should regularly create and organize collections of learning and teaching materials. In development and management of open educational resources, academic libraries may play a big role. However, it is debatable whether this role would be as creator of OER or helper in creating OER and make accessible to the end users as other library resources. Academic libraries have a central position in the lives of the academic community members, even despite the changes brought by technology and availability of scholarly knowledge online. In this sense, librarians having relevant skills, including outreach and education, curriculum development, and instructional support, can benefit OER programs. After the use of internet as a vehicle of scholarly communication, academic libraries around the world are playing an increasingly active role in the teaching learning process. That is why academic libraries sometimes being redefined as learning resource centers. Among other functions, learning resource centers are intended to develop educational digital resource collections, gathering both institutional and digital resource collection, gathering both institutional and externally created resources. In short, academic libraries have the philosophy, competencies, relationships, and strengths to support, promote, and even cultivate and create open educational resources. Academic librarians have both an important role and a professional responsibility to take the lead in supporting faculty and students in expanding the range of OER in service, supporting innovative teaching and providing a competitive counterweight in the course material marketplace. Librarians may play a versatile role in the OER movement, including adoption, that is librarians model the adoption of OER for their faculty colleagues by leveraging open content in their instructional and outreach roles. Advocacy. Librarians who see the benefits of OER often serve as institutional advocates for OER and other affordability strategies, such as multi-user ebook licensing, including library content, and OER to form hybrid course material sets, and reducing the cost of course packs through leveraging licensed contents. Curation, preservation, and repositories. Librarians have critical expertise that is sorely needed to support the long-term visibility and sustainability of open educational resources through the creation and maintenance of OER repositories. Another role may be in content development. Librarians can adapt existing or develop new open educational resources for their own instructional purposes. In description, cataloging, and metadata, librarians can support the organization and facilitate discovery by providing expertise related to the description, cataloging, and developing OER metadata. Discovery. Librarians can support faculty and students in effective search strategies to identify OER and to develop and provide LibGuides and other funding aids to support general or discipline-specific identification of high-quality open educational resources. Next one, in funding. Libraries can, on their own or in partnership with others on campus, develop funding programs to encourage and support faculty seeking to make the change to OER or more affordable course materials. In information literacy, librarians can provide expert assistance for collection development and instruction on identifying and evaluating the authority and quality of open educational resources materials. Librarians can serve as local experts on maintaining copyright and support faculty and students in making determinations regarding how materials can be used, combined, and shared. What role in policy development? That is, librarians can take a leadership role in the development of institutional policy regarding open educational resources adoption and development. Also, librarians support online and face-to-face professional development for faculty who are seeking to gain certifications or improve their understanding of open educational resources. In publishing, libraries can take on the role of OER publisher, soliciting authorship of content, developing collateral materials, providing editing and proofreading services, and creating a distribution channel for new open educational resources. Next one, on their own or in partnership with academic leadership, student government, or educational foundations, libraries can establish reward, recognition, and awards for faculty whose model best practices and leadership related to creating, adopting, or promoting open educational resources. And next one, team members. Librarians can serve as information specialists and other roles on open educational resources development teams alongside faculty, subject matter experts, instructional designers or technologists, and media developers. Also, there may be, apart from these, there are so many roles to be played by the libraries and library professionals. So, main important roles are listed here. So here mentioned some government initiatives made in India. Today's society is knowledge-based and it is driven by knowledge workers. It has been said that the society which can produce or create knowledge workers in coming decades will govern the universe. As India marches rapidly towards an ambitious agenda of economic and social advancement, one of the greatest challenges it faces is to provide extensive access to quality higher education opportunities. Since equity, access and quality in higher education is the prime concern of the government. Therefore, government has realized that information and communication technology sector will play a crucial role in expanding higher education online, and that's why it has launched nationwide centrally sponsored mission called National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology, NMEICT, and National Knowledge Network, NKN, through which universities as well as colleges of higher education are to be connected. National Knowledge Network will connect all the universities, whereas along with other projects related to education like National Program on Technology, Enhanced Learning, NPTEL, Ekalava, an open educational portal of Indian Institute of Bombay, National Repository of Open Educational Resources, NROER, etc., has been launched to not only to connect the academic institutes of higher education, but also help the stakeholders to access the good quality educational resources material. The Ekalavya project has developed an open source educational resources animation repository, OSCAR, that provides web-based interactive animations for teaching. It provides a platform for student developers to create animations based on ideas and guidance from instructors. Therefore, OER present a range of opportunities to institutions of higher education, teachers and learners of higher education, as well as administrators of higher education. Digital India and Skill India are among the several government initiatives launched to spread digital learning in India. Few more such examples are eBasta, schools book in digital form, e-education, all schools connected with broadband and free Wi-Fi in all schools, development of pilot MOOCs, massive open online courses, Nandghars, digital tools as teaching aids, SWAM, MOOCs based on curriculum taught in classrooms from 9th class till post-graduation, and India Skills Online, learning portal for skill training. eGrid, supported by the Human Resource Ministry of the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Kerala, provides subject-specific portals that are developed and maintained by subject domain experts. Currently, this program offers open educational resources only for science and engineering. Clearly, the government initiatives go a long way in reaping benefits of digital learning. So here I mentioned a brief note on impact of open educational resources in digital learning, movement. So now I may conclude that digital learning requires a combination of technology, digital content, and instruction. In this rapidly changing landscape, where the technology is changing at very low interval and changing the information seeking behavior of students and researchers, users of academic libraries will continue to require support and guidance from library and information science professionals in navigating the requirements of open access and the development, management, and promotion of open educational resources. In addition, academic library and information science professionals will need to stay informed and lead the way in collaborating with their institutions, publishers, organizations, and other academic libraries to develop new funding mechanisms and incentives to support faculty involvement in open access publishing. The time has come to encourage decision makers in governments and academic institutions to invest in the systematic production, adaptation, and use of open educational resources and to bring them into the mainstream of higher education in order to improve the quality of curricula and teaching to reduce cost. So here I mentioned the list of some documents I have taken help to make this paper, and thank you all for having patience. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Heartily congratulations to Dr. Paul Madam for delivering a lecture on the impact of open educational resources in digital learning environment. Everyone present on this internet forum, including myself, benefited from her lecture. The term OER describes publicly accessible materials and resources for any user to use, remix, improve, and redistribute under some licenses. These are designed to reduce accessibility barriers by implementing best practices in teaching and to be adopted for local unique context. Open educational resources cover a wide range of online formats, including online textbook, video recording lectures, YouTube clips, web-based textual materials, designs for independent study, animations and stimulations, digital diagrams and graphs, some MOOCs or even assessment material such as tests with automated answers. She has defined OER and the objectives of OER. She has stated OER requirements. The resources must be downloadable, and the categories of open educational resources like internet, like interactive stimulation, textbook and course material, and multimedia learning module. She has clearly explained digital learning and the use of technology and also discuss the modes of digital learning. She has covered that open educational resources opens the opportunities for LIS professionals. She has also mentioned some open educational initiatives like audio-visual OER, for example, NPTEL, eGankos, etc. Textual OER, for example, Vidyanidhi, EPG Pathshala, NSDL, or National Knowledge Portal. She has discussed the challenges of to growing OER movement. She has also explained the role of academic libraries and librarians. She also stated about librarians play a versatile role in open educational movement. She has mentioned government initiatives in India like NMEICT, NKN, NPTEL, MOOCs, Ecolabor project, etc. Thank you, madam, for delivering your nice presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thanks to you also.
Welcome.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask our speaker regarding OER, especially those students. If you want to ask anything, you can ask in Bengali also. You don't have to speak in English. It's not mandatory. I have already written it, Nilima. It was very exhaustive and informative. It's very, very helpful. And let me inform.
Thank you so much, Obi. Thank you. Thank you. I have tried my very little. So thank you. If this paper will be helpful to anyone else, so I will be very much.
Definitely, it's going to be helpful for the students. We have been live on YouTube, so YouTube, it will remain forever as digital stuff on YouTube.
Yes.
The information for our the future viewers will be viewing these informative presentations. And I guess with this, we don't have any presentation. Can we move on to another section? With your permission, being the president of the session.
Hello.
Pronobi. Well, Joya, let's move on to another section of the session. Yeah.
So before moving on to the vote of thanks, I would like to make the announcement for the next study circle, which will take place on 26th April at 7:30 p.m. And the speaker for that session will be Debolina Bishwas, Junior Research Fellow, Department of Library and Information Science, Jadavpur University. Now getting back to the vote of thanks, first and foremost, I express my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Udayan Bhattacharya sir, the esteemed president of Universal Briefing, whose visionary leadership has given us this remarkable platform for sharing scholarly insights. With deep appreciation, I would like to thank Dr. Nilima Paul, our speaker for today's session, for her informative and comprehensive presentation. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Dr. Pronobi Porel for efficiently presiding over the session. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Ovik Roy, the convener of this study circle. My profound gratitude is also extended to Dr. Otanu Das, the chairman of this study circle. Additionally, I would like to extend my thanks to Mr. Obhijit Nashkar, Mr. Shubham Das, and Mr. Niladri Mujumdar, research scholars of Department of Library and Information Science, Jadavpur University, for their consistent technical support. And last but not the least, I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to all the attendees for their invaluable participation in making this study circle a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Joya,
Thank
for
you.
nicely the session. Thank you, Nilima.
Thank you. Thank you, Joya Madam, and thanks to all. Thanks a lot. Okay, good night. So may I leave now?
Yeah,
Session
please.
is over.
Session is over. We
Okay.
call it.